New developments in one of the biggest cold cases in modern pop culture history.
First to you, Camila, what are we learning about this arrest?
Keefe D. He was arrested this morning, according to sources, in connection with the killing of Tupac Shakur.
Folks, it looks like the madness that went down in the rap world when Tupac left us is finally coming to an end. For many decades, the entire world was whispering about how the rap legend actually met his end and who was behind such a heinous crime. Even though the police previously arrested Keefe D as a suspect, the story got a shocking turn just recently, and you would never believe who's got caught red-handed. While all the eyes were on Diddy, suspecting him as the mastermind behind the Las Vegas shooting, the real alleged Snoop Dogg somehow stayed safe and innocent. But now, after months of investigation and Keefe D's new shocking testimony, it's been reported that Snoop might played a part in Tupac's heartbreaking exit from this world.
You know, you can hear in his voice that, I don't want to be here. Nobody wants to be there.
To get to the truth, let's rewind to that infamous night of September 7th, 1996. Tupac was in Vegas to party and catch a boxing match of his good friend Mike Tyson. It was a typical night out, and little did he know that someone in the rap world was plotting to do something sinister to him that would silence this man forever. Mike was the closest to the late rapper, and years after, he recalled that someone was definitely after Tupac. He was just an uncontrolled force, and that was the problem. He was powerful, and no one could control him. That night, Tupac gets hit 4 times on that night, arm, thigh, and twice in the chest, and no one until today paid for that crime.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice.
The rapper was transported to the nearest hospital where the doctors kept fighting for his life. And in those days before him passing away, he was visited by multiple supporters and artists, including Snoop Dogg. Now guys, here's when the story gets truly shady. Upon Snoop Dogg's arrival at the hospital, he rapidly realized the absolute gravity of the situation, as Pac's chances of survival appeared to be slim. We feeling like it's gonna be alright until we go to the hospital and see that it ain't alright. He got tubes in him. But here's the thing. The police now suspects that Snoop didn't want to unalive Tupac, and the rapper fell the victim to the industry games. Apparently, Snoop's real target in this shooting was Suge Knight, who was in the car with Pac on that night.
Pac saved my life. The reason why I say Pac saved my life, I got shot in the head, got grazed some other places.
You don't need to dig deep to see the brewing hatred between Snoop and Suge. Snoop's been talking about his feud with Knight for ages. They were like a never-ending soap opera of misunderstandings and beef. This drama dragged on for years, and it reignited with even further strength once Snoop acquired Knight's old label and became its owner. You see, Suge Knight could have actually be the key to the investigation of Pac's shooting, but he refused to discuss any single thing with the police for years. Even after the arrest of Keefe D, he still stood his ground, fought hinting that the police got the wrong man. I'm not going to get on the stand and testify. 1,000 I wouldn't go. I wouldn't testify. None of that BS. At the end of the day, free Keefe D. But the recent talk coming from Suge Knight's prison cell got the world talking. The details he spilled in his podcast may be just enough to land Snoop right next to Knight in the same cell, as Suge had stated that the police had missed an important clue in Pac's case, and in fact, Snoop should have been rotting in jail for a whopping 27 years.
I wasted $1 on that. I spent $6 million on that case to make sure he didn't get life in prison.
Moreover, Knight dropped claims of Snoop being the snake that knows how to get away with M, and how the ex-producer personally rescued this man from a possible life sentence in 1993. Guys, he basically told if it weren't for me, Snoop would still be in prison doing life. Dishing the dirt, Knight revealed spending a whopping $6 million back in the days to handle various messes related to Snoop's M case. And now, it seems like that M case wasn't the only crime that Snoop had committed. Apparently, trying to target Suge, he got another person heavily wounded, and that's something that fans would never forgive him for. As one person commented, Snoop, you could have told the truth when it happened, but you chose the East Coast. You wasn't in the car because you had something to do with it. You and Pac was beefing. And another user added, Snoop worth to be investigated. Snoop always appeared to not fully love or supported Pac. He, however, showed serious, undeniable love to some of those who are suspects. And folks, probably, this version of the incident is quite legit. You see, Snoop Dogg and Tupac were tight and the rapper tried to show it. In 2012, at Coachella Festival, Snoop's dream came true. Thanks to some high-tech wizardry, there was a hologram of Tupac on stage performing right next to Snoop. And while there's evidence that Snoop and Pac were truly close, it's hard to say this about Suge and Snoop, who had been beefing as long as the industry can remember. Apparently, those bullets that pierced Tupac's body were all meant to end in Suge's flesh, and even Pac himself said that to his producer before passing out. Though fatally injured, Tupac remained conscious for a while and believed his pal Suge Knight was the one badly injured after being gunned down, and all the bullets were meant to end Knight's life. As Suge recalled after the shooting, Pac told him, "You when they shot in the head. You shot in the head." Suge also shared about what went down during Tupac's hospital stay. At that time, Snoop and Suge weren't exactly bros, but as he said, they managed to put all beef aside for Tupac.
We were men enough to have that conversation behind closed doors with just me and him. No cameras, no bodyguards, no media.
Upon staying near Tupac's hospital bed, Snoop finally realized that his pal wasn't gonna make it, and apparently, he kept blaming himself for Pac's demise ever since. While arriving to the hospital, the sight of the rapper fighting for his life with all the tubes and almost no hope of making it, Snoop completely lost it. As Snoop shared many years later, he lost his consciousness while walking in Pac's room. When I walked in, I could just feel like he wasn't even there, and I fainted. It seems like he's truly sorry for what he's done, and Pac simply feels the victim of big industry games. There is another evidence that proves that Snoop Dogg was actually targeting Suge in that incident. It's the acquisition of his old label that once belonged to Suge and promise of massive changes.
Getting the merchandise right, getting it in different, scenarios, movies, TV shows, to make it lovable.
Fans and friends were sending him mad congrats, wondering how Knight would react. After all, there have been a lot of drama between them. And guess what? Snoop's dropping hints about a collab with none other than Bad Boy Records, the former foe, probably got Suge quite mad. In a FaceTime with Snoop, Diddy gave him a virtual round of applause. He said, "Congratulations, King. Great move, great move." To which Snoop enigmatically replied, "You taught me how to play chess, not checkers." What's also suspicious is that Diddy also called him one of his greatest students and couldn't wait to sit down and hear all the new moves he had done to finally reach these heights.
Proud, I was like, my mind was like really blown.
Now, in the light of the events surrounding Diddy's figure and his crimes that surface, this collab seems to be not possible anymore, but it keeps many people wondering what connections does Snoop has to the music mogul and what lessons he had learned from this serial criminal. Well, before the Cassie drama, Snoop was full of praise for Diddy, saying things like "shut the F up" and "stop being brainwashed." "I love Puff. I love his kids." Now, man, what's happening? I own this label, so I do what the F I want to do. Careful, Snoop, because you never know what may surface about your shady life and what's coming next for you when the truth about your relation to Pac's M case is out.
The only relationship that I have like that where someone left and we wasn't all right.
Now, with a hatchet looming over Snoop's neck, people start to connect the dots, and it's clear that the police have been looking for their criminal in the wrong place all these years. As one person commented, "Well, Snoop is a Crip and Pac was from the East Coast Bloods. Snoop was jealous and mad at blood comes to his hood and makes more money. They never liked each other anyways." And another user added, "Snoop is fake and was so jealous of Pac, I knew he was involved since way back in Puff. Big and Pac should still be here." The drama gets heated because the police really wants to close this case once and for all and to throw all their effort and forces to dig to the roots of this sad incident. But folks, what do you think about all this? Could Snoop Dogg be hiding the truth from us all these years? And might be actually be the person who unalived Tupac? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check my other videos